So I'm here. I'm not in my truck. I'm not pretty much gonna talk to you from there or when exactly it happened. But yeah, I got into my first ever trucking accident and I wasn't even supposed to be there. Somebody had taken a vacation or got sick, and so I took over a route and it took me from a different direction. Typically, I always head east. This time I was heading south from the location I delivered to. I was shooken up at the time. I never in my life thought I would be one of the truck drivers that was going to be caught on film or had an accident. I thought that, throughout my whole entire career as a truck driver, I'll be able to stay, accident free. And I make content on my Instagram, watching a lot of the things, and sometimes I pose it as a joke, but it is very important. When I watch these videos at first, I'm in shock. I'm like, wow, this is incredible. It's really eye-opening. And to see a lot of the things that I post on Instagram, again, if you want to check that out, it kind of makes you a lot more cautious. So you're probably like, what the heck happened? And of course, this is YouTube. I want to fully express a story, so not a detail is missing. But this happened about a month ago. And so I'll kind of lead you up to what has happened since that month, what has happened to me in my life due to the fact of this accident. So, like I said, I wasn't supposed to be there. I was asked if I wanted to pick up a route, and apparently it got split or something like that, and it was available. I said, sure, yeah, I'll go ahead and take it. It was going up to Michigan, and I said, I'm gonna do that and head on down. So I believe it was a two-day trip. So I would be sleeping, not a 2-day trip, but like I would head up there and then I would have to crash at like some kind of Pilot J, or excuse me, I said Pilot J, Flying J, Pilot, Loves, whatever I could find on the way down, even a rest stop. So I get up there, deliver my load, and I head on back. I sleep and I wake up relatively late, but I just keep going. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna, head on back. There's no time crunch. I've done my job. No plan for the rest of the day. So let's just say I did it an hour, an hour before, 2 hours after, whatever. But if I chose a later time, I would have never interacted with this individual. So I head on down, and I'm just, down the interstate, heading back to my state. And there's this roundabout. Now, a lot of truck drivers understand this roundabout. It's truck driver heavy traffic. I'm talking about majority of the time it's major traffic. You have a lot of facilities around there that service and pretty much have trucks going in and out, and my dedicated account is over here. So you know what's better for me is to actually give you guys a full representation with a drawing. I'm not good at it. I'm going to attempt it. Let me go ahead and show. Okay, so as I mentioned, it was going to be a roundabout. Now, again, this isn't going to be the best, right? But I'm going to do the best I can to illustrate. Oh, wow, that is a straight line. Honestly, I'm very proud of that straight line. Can I do it twice? Oh, no, I messed it up. And then, oh man, even though it's a straight, you know what, I'm gonna keep it because it's a nice straight line. And that's a straight line too. That, I don't know what the heck happened there. But anyway, so it's a roundabout, and this is actually a 2-lane roundabout. So you have like all these little lines, and where I was coming from was it was right here. I was coming from over here. So a lot of truck drivers, because the middles right here has a bunch of grass. Oh, hold on, let me actually put some grass or stuff like that. But it has a bunch of grass, right? And you don't want to touch the inner lane. So a lot of truck drivers would go from whatever lane they're at, and they would go around the roundabout and then exit where they need to go. So this was me. This was my path that I had to go. Now, rarely do you see a truck driver go on the inside unless they are going again that way too, but rarely, because again, you could be touching the center. So let me take that one off. So again, this was my path, and a lot of people or cars that are in the middle, they understand, and I'll make a different color. Orange is going to be cars. They'll go inside, and let's just say I'm right here. I'm right here. They'll wait until they clear the trailer, and then they'll come out and go the way they have to go. So I've been doing this for like 2 years. Other truck drivers have been doing it for over a certain amount of years. And so when I come back and I'm entering the highway, I'm entering the circle, I go around and I get to here, and I'll show you a picture of what had happened. So I got right here, and I'll use blue as my eyes. I look out to my left, and I see, and I'll make the guy purple. I see the guy like in my trailer. So like I said, people usually get off, they wait until the trailer is cleared, then they'll leave. So I'm looking, and I'm seeing that again, the guy's purple, that he's rammed right into my trailer with the pictures that I'm illustrating. And so I stop dead right here, and I take these pictures. And so I'm like, man, what the heck? Like, this is insane. And so I look out, I'm confused. I don't know why. I've never had this happen before. And so I get out, and at that moment, I was like, man, what the heck? I could have just kept going and dragged you along. Luckily, I'm some truck drivers, if you guys see accident videos, they don't see you. They don't even know they hit something. It takes a massive hit in order to feel something. So I visually saw it, and I stopped, and the damage to the vehicle was actually a lot minimal from what it could have been. It literally could have took the roof off of his car if I kept going. So I get out, and I'm talking to this dude, and I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm in the right. There's truck drivers that do this all the time, go on that route. And so he's like, dude, you're supposed to be over here. I'm like, no, I'm not. I can't do that. I mean, you're not supposed to do that, or I'm going to be riding into the middle. Plenty of truck drivers do this. So I'm actually worried at that moment, like, what did I do something wrong? But I'm like watching other truck drivers do the same kind of maneuver. And so some of the truck drivers are looking at him like shaking his head like, why'd you do that? And so I'm over there, I'm calling my boss, I'm calling safety, and I'm taking these pictures. Nobody told me to take pictures. But I knew instantly I got to take pictures right now, because guess what? The cops came and they just told us to move. Had I not taken any pictures, probably the results could have been a lot worse. So we get over there, and this guy, he seems to be like a contractor or something like that, and he was telling me, oh, it's your fault, this is your fault, what were you doing, you should have exited there. I'm like, well, like, if anything, you have a small vehicle and you ran into a giant trailer. So I'm talking to the cop. There's 2 cops there, and the other cop, he's like, well, in this county, when it comes down to, since this is a heavy truck traffic area, the whoever enters that space first, or if it's a semi truck, they have the right of way. So he said, for instance, if you were to just keep going around and around and around, obviously cops will be called because you're being a nuisance and you're supposed to exit and follow the signs. you still have the right of way, so nobody could just intentionally hit you and be like, oh, it's your fault. No, they still have the right of way because you entered first. Now he did explain that other locations, when it comes down to roundabouts, it's a little different, but this one has 2 lanes. A lot of the roundabouts that I've been around, there's only like 1 lane, you just go around, right? There has been a few of the 2 laners that I have been on, but again, this is a high traffic truck traffic area, so a lot of the trucks don't go in the middle because they'll be trapped and they can't get off of their correct exit, and then they'll enter other people's lanes on the outside. So I'm worried at this point. I'm like, okay, I send the photos to safety, I gather all the information that I need to have, and I'm talking to my boss, and he's like, okay, we have the safety manager who I know, and he's actually in the office. I'm like, oh man, so this is all tough. So I have to go and park just outside of the distribution center, and the adjuster has to come out. They have to do an inspection, get the story, and then they have to reach out to him and get his side of the story. So it's a whole entire, it's a mess. I can't keep going. I can drop off the trailer and then I have to park my truck and I'm done. I can't do anything until I hear back from, the safety department. My boss is telling me, I'll contact you. The adjuster, her opinion of the situation, I'm not going to get too deep into it, just in case I don't want to release too much information, but her opinion of certain things were that, I was not at fault, right? That was only her opinion. So I'm like, okay, that's one person. And then I sent safety. Safety said that they believe that it was the other guys. So V2, there's V1, which is me. V2 is the other vehicle. And they said, oh, we find this individual at fault. I'm like, okay. Or not, like the V2, the other guy. So I'm like, okay, all right. So that's 2. Safety manager is telling me like he's confused as to where was he thinking he was going, regardless of like needing to exit. Like, where were you going? Like, your plan was to turn into. So anyway, I get home, I'm a little stressed out, and I get a call from my boss. And so he tells me there's 2 options that you get, and the one can better your situation, and then the other one is not. But let me rewind. Like I said, the cop said that pretty much I had the right of way. So when my boss called, he told me non-preventable. And I can't tell you how stressful it is. Because I take my job very seriously. When I go to the construction zones and it says 55, I go 55. I know some of you super truckers that want to go 65 raining in a construction zone, that's on you. But when you actually see and you react to a lot of these accidents, it's not a game. It's not a game. And I've been in a very minor one. But my concern, and I expressed this to the cop, was I wanted to make sure that he's okay. Because I'm glad that I stopped. Had I not stopped, I don't know if he would have been alive. Right? Because he could easily go under my trailer. If he kept going in that direction and I just turned, it's a roundabout, so it's a sweep. That trailer is going to just take whatever's over there. And so I always check my mirrors, and I waited a long time to release this video, and I was able to go back to work. And it's hard because it's like, this is my job, and due to a choice of me waking up at that time, leaving at that time, entering that roundabout at that time, it showed me about timing and why it's important, and the fear that if they said it was preventable, that it would hurt so many things. And to hold on to this has been hard. It has been hard. So it's been a month now, and I can only thank God. I can only thank God, and I am very cognizant of everything I do in trucking. I always have, but it's just now amplified. When I legit do a pre-trip, I check my tires. I do everything I can in order to stay safe. I'm watching out for other people. I see other truck drivers flicking me off because my truck can only go 65 and I'm staying safe. I've seen too much, and some people think they're invincible. I'm not. At the end of the day, I want to get home to my family. So this is a reminder to any truck driver out there that has not experienced an accident and you think that you've been doing it long enough. I've been doing it 3 years and it's happened for the first time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Stay safe out there on the road, and I will catch all the view champs in the next one. Peace.